Sooner Scoop HD.
Going on the road the last 2 weekends, winning in hostile environments, how does that toughen up a team? Because it looks like the other side of the bracket is going to produce the same thing. 2-2-0 teams that had to go the long route to get here.
Yeah, I mean, I think all those things come into effect of when you're out there and in that environment and you're playing. You never know what's going to happen. Sometimes you're at home, sometimes you're visitors in that environment, and so I think that's the biggest key. Last night for us to be a home team, I thought it was really key for us and kind of set the tone early. Cade was really good in the first inning. Great play by, and kind of set the tone. Great play by Blake. Just not caring. He's just going to go get the ball and just playing like a baseball player should play. He's just going out there to catch the ball, and Cade was really good and got him in the rhythm. And we started forcing, pressing the envelope on them a little bit, and it kind of helped us.
Can you describe how that going on the road in Gainesville, in Blacksburg, you won 4 in Arlington, toughens you up for being in Omaha for when things get hairy or when the crowd gets loud like last night?
Well, there's no doubt, because that's the biggest thing is how can you control yourself one pitch at a time when you're in an environment like that. We talk about it a lot. They have a toolbox where they try to stay in their routines, and the more you're in your routine, the more belief system that you have. It gives you confidence, and you really, 9 times out of 10, it's not really in the environment. It's not really the physical things that happen within the environment. Now it's the mental things that happen that hurt the physical things. If you just stay in your mental routines of trying to win pitches, checking off, going to your release point, which a release point is just a one thought system. Going to your release point is no different than something physical with association. You might grab the dirt, throw it away. You might grab the rosin bag, throw it, and get to the next pitch. And you just want to have one thought: see the inside part of the baseball, or throw the ball to the mitt, because that's the one thought's the only thing you can control. If you have a million thoughts going in your head, and then you're listening to the popcorn vendor up there, or the hot dog vendor up there, then you lose sight of what you really have to accomplish, which is really throwing the ball at the target or watching the top inside part of the ball.
How will that inning for David set him up for tomorrow?
Get him out there in the environment, of going through those things, going through his releases, doing those things. Less is more when you get in that environment, because he already has fifth gear. He's really talented. He already has fifth gear, so to speak, in his arsenal, and so he didn't have to really try. And when you try, I thought he tried really hard. And once you notice that and you recognize it, that's what it'll help you. If you recognize it and learn from whatever happens in that environment, and try to go out there and just think about just executing a pitch, not really caring. You just can't care. You just throw the ball to the target. Who cares about the outcome? Because the outcome is what matters. I mean, you either have a good outcome or a bad outcome, or a good experience or a bad experience. If you have a good experience, you get back to your normal routines. If you have a bad experience, you have a release system that tells you, hey, I got to release this, I got to get to the next pitch. It's 100% of what you got to get to the next pitch, one pitch at a time, and control yourself. It's easy for us as coaches and all the sports psychologists and everybody to talk about it, but it's hard to live.
Sure.
You can do it by sitting in the line at the coffee shop. You can do it sitting at the line at the red light, and just breathing, making sure you're in the moment versus in the future or in the past. You can't live in the past in this game. That's what the game wants you to do. It wants you to do that. Thanks, Trevin.
You mentioned routine quite a bit. In the last few weeks, you've been on the same routine: go on the road, come back home, go back on the road, and now you stay here, which is good. I know that, but does the change in routine not going back to normal, does that matter at all moving forward?
It matters to me, because I got to fill up deer feeders a lot. So I ain't got down there to fill up any deer feeders or put any protein out, so it matters a lot to me. But these guys, coming in, washing clothes, I really think it helps too, because you're together so much more. You're not in this apartment over here, this apartment over there, or that apartment over there. You kind of tend to play together, and you're together a lot, so it's like the brotherly love type deal. Sometimes you'll see them wrestle with each other, sometimes you'll see them get mad at each other, and most of the time you'll see them love each other.
In the grand scheme of things, it seems like you guys are pretty set, though, as far as pitching. You haven't used Chaz, you haven't used Carter, you haven't used Carson. There are a lot of arms that you guys can use here over the next couple of days if you need.
Yeah, that's for sure. We can use those different guys, and hopefully those guys will get in there. I know that all of them are fighting to go in there. They want to try to help the team win, and they're helping the team win just being present. You know, no different than you know, Trent Brown on the dugout doing a chart. No different than Brett Squires seeing different things, talking to his teammates or on the at bats. That's really the thing. Like last night, it was probably the most special thing of all. We talk about being a team of Davids and running to the giant or running to the roar or whatever it is that we're doing, which is great. But when Sebastian got up there, and then when Jarrett Godman got out there, you would have thought, you know, hey, Peyton Graham goes 4 for 4, still stolen bases, hadn't done it since Barry Bonds. He would have got the spike. But the guy that got the spike was Jarrett Godman, because they know he comes out there and he's been a good teammate. That's when you have a good culture on your baseball team. It doesn't matter about winning and losing, man. It matters about your culture, your team. And if your culture, your team is there, then your chances of winning the game are greater. It gives you a greater edge to win the game. It's not just about winning. It's just about building that culture where those guys care so much and they're selfless. And that's what really matters in our environment and our culture.
Is Jake available tomorrow night at all, or Wednesday night, or
do you want him to pitch?
Do I want him to pitch?
Yeah. Would you pitch him?
I don't know what his arm resilience is.
No, he's not available.
Okay.
He will not be
What
available.
would that be? 4 days rest?
His next start could be Thursday if we get to Thursday. And if we get to Thursday, it could be his next start. If not, it'll be Friday or whenever Saturday the next time up. With all it being said, it'd be great to start him on Saturday, but we threw a bullpen today to get him ready to go on Thursday.
Sooner Scoop HD.